Ah, I missed it. That's okay, because I didn't need it. That's fine. You gonna focus? Yeah, go on then. Hello there, I'm Tim, and this is How to Murder Feet. Rest of the best of Britain of coasting path type day, week one. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I'm walking around the coast, and that's what I do. This is what is it today? Sunday the 13th of March. And I'm the other side of that channel. That's quite a narrow channel with quite strong, deep flowing water. The other side of the ferry. There we go. There's all those beach huts we were looking at last time. I've since looked those up, and that right there, one of those, probably set you back £350,000. Yeah, I know. Not kidding. Yes, they're very expensive, as it turns out. Yeah, I had a quick look online. As around the time of this recording, which is, oh, hello, selfie mode, thank you. Yeah, at the time of this recording, there were 11 I found online on estate agent websites. Average price £350,000, and I also found a news article about one that earlier this year had sold for £550,000, so about just over £500,000 for one of those. That was dual aspect, you know, obviously. I mean, you don't get many beach huts with sea views on both sides, but even so, I mean, they're not that big. They're about the size of a garage, standard car garage, single. Probably just about get a car in one of those. Only you can't, because the nearest car park is 20 minutes walk over there, the other side of Hengistbury Head Hill. Anyway, so yes, it's day 2 of my week 1 of the southeast coast path, I suppose I'm calling it. And I'm heading that way along this coach here. This is Muddyford Quay. That's Christchurch Harbour over there, which is sort of like a small pool harbour. But I expect they wouldn't welcome the comparison. And yes, I'm going to head on that way along that shoreline. It's quite misty today. It rained quite heavily yesterday and early into the morning, but I think we're okay now for the rest of the day. I don't think there's going to be any. Might be a few little spits here and there, but I think it's going to be dry. But overcast, quite grey, quite misty. Not much visibility out to sea. I still just about see the Isle of Wight. I'll see more of that as we go around. Kite surfing. It's relative about 15 mile an hour from the south, so quite warm and quite mild wind. It's not really appreciably bringing the wind chill down, so that's good. About 10 degrees at the moment. Nothing dramatic planned for the weather for the day, really. So, and sunset is 8 minutes past 6 today, and it is 10:25 now. So plenty of time. So basically, yeah, I think it's going to be a bit more hilly today, a bit more up and down. It's a bit sort of low cliffs most of the way along, although it might be plateauing along the top for much of it. So that should be all right. All these lobster pots. Yeah, working quay. These are houses. These 2 rows of houses there. It's quite. There's our lifeboat station there, cafe pub thing there. Quaint little thing, and then yeah, big long car park and then away. So yeah, lots of trees along here. There's many trees along the coast generally. I think we're getting around to more sheltered environs. Isle of Wight itself being a massive windbreak. Yeah, we're heading around to Hurst Castle, which is about 11 miles around the end. We're going to cross into a new county today as well. That'd be good. We're going to cross from Dorset, which is here, to Hampshire, which is over there somewhere. Hampshire, land of my fathers, or something. Yeah, so let's crack on. Mer people paratroopers. It's great conditions for it, actually. Stiff southerly breeze blowing on shore. Stiff but not dangerous, not, you know, wildly out of control high speeds. And a nice bit of wavy chop as well to do jumps and things on. Wind's pushing the waves straight up the shore. Coming from the south. I'd say, probably not a traditionally well-known surfing beach, but I seem to be doing all right. Yeah, it's basically that, yeah. Well demonstrated. Excellent. I'll have a map stop in a minute. It's not so windy that I can't get a map out, but I'll need to find something a bit sheltered. At the moment, yeah, just plodding on. Looks like it starts off a bit promenade-y today, but I think mostly it's going to be clifftop headland walking, I think, from quite soon onwards. Certainly not going to be the 9-mile long pavement we dealt with last weekend in fact. Yeah, I came out the very next weekend. I'm that keen. Not doing next weekend, I've got stuff to do, you know. But yes, got to keep chipping away at it. I mean, these day trip weekends throughout the year are a sort of sneaky way of getting more than 2 weeks in a year, which is my normal rate when I have to do the backpack camping. I get to do these sort of day trips in addition to that, which means I get a bit more done in a year, which is good. Right, I'm going to cut off the beach into this car park and onto a promenade for a bit. Trying to get some solid ground under my feet. I don't like walking on sand generally. It slows you down a bit. Okay, so yeah, let's do a map bit. Turns out I did own the map I needed last time. I thought I didn't, but it turns out I'm on OL22, my old friend. So there we are. There's Swanage and other unfocusing things. Isle of Wight. The orange bit is the bit we're doing. Yeah, this is not working so well. Bournemouth. Okay. Probably not to meet. I put it at 1 instead of half. Oh look, there we go. It likes that. So yes, so we've pretty much done Bournemouth last time, and we're now hooking round and on up towards the Solent, Southampton, Portsmouth, and so on. What's the picture? What's the picture? Yeah, trees. It's the New Forest, which is the bulk of the rest of the map. This is just the bottom edge where the coast is. I'm going to just stuff that between my legs and have a look at the actual map. Quite windy. A lot of humorous looks as I'm getting this sorted out. So there we are. We're now currently at Steamer Point Nature Reserve, just on the left-hand side of it, where those little buildings are. And I'm noticing there's a diamond marked path all the way through here, all the way through today, which is down as the what is that? That's the European long distance route. Not allowed to talk about Europe anymore, but yes, the E9 route. We saw a circle of stars on the post last time, and for want of an actual England coast path, certainly the whole section I'm following today corresponds to the E9 route, so I'm going to keep an eye out for signs for that. Yeah, so we've got a nature reserve, a little bit of inland detour, some swamping stuff there, Hurst Castle, whatever that is, down onto the beach and back up onto High Cliff, Chewton Bunny, which is the border to Hampshire, I believe, and then through a holiday park and round, and then on to the next page. I'm going to have to flip the map as well at some point during the day, because Hurst Castle's on the reverse side of it all, so yeah, less helpful than you'd think. So again, I'm encouraged because it means at least I've got something I can keep an eye out for. The acorns were really helpful last time, but now there are no more. And I don't know if the signage for the England coast path's anywhere near completion around here or not, so I guess we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, mostly skirting around the south of Christchurch and High Cliff today, being run over by a van. Cool. Alright, let's move on. This is nice. Palette cleansing clifftop woodland. Quite a lot of evergreens in here. I think they're bay leaves maybe, giant bay leaves. There's conifers there as well. Some sort of pine or fir or something. I don't know. God, come to the wrong place if you want actual natural geology and biology and stuff. I am not David Attenborough. There are many significant differences. Bit of a gleam coming off the sea now, thinning out clouds there. It's nice. Yeah, quite like a bit of cliff top. This is the sort of place I'd be looking to think about dropping the tent if I were doing this properly, but I'll find anyway. This is a nature reserve, so and quite frequented as well. A lot of dog walkers coming along here, so I don't know, I might get in trouble trying to camp here. That's part of why I'm day tripping this particular section of the coast path as well, because it is all quite dense seaside retirement towns from here pretty much across to Chichester and Brighton and beyond, so day tripping seems to work better for this. More reliant on public transport, but that's fine because there's loads of it about. Oh, hello, pass through here, do we? Yeah, better crack on. But yeah, less opportunities for wild camp, so sort of averages out. It's nice. And here we are, Hurst Castle. Formal lawns there, small maze work, topiary, lovely. This is High Cliff rather than High Clear Castle, which is a different place, much further inland. I'm not even going to hazard some bullshit about the architectural style there. You'll have to go look that up. I'll say neo-Viking, but who knows. Cafe over there. Sounds like a splendid day out. I expect they've got many fascinating furnitures and artefacts inside. However, no time to enjoy the formal splendour for me today. I've got to crack on. But if you find yourself fascinated by this, you can use the internet like any normal modern human being, I suppose. It's very tranquil here. Quite close to the sea as well. A little bit of woodland and then some steps down the cliff to the beach. There we go. Drop a Vivaldi backing track on here. Bosh, done. Right, I've got to crack on. Oh, yes, I know, I'm a Philistine. Stop for a little bit of a breather. I'm going to sit down, those too wet and muddy. Yes, this is High Cliff Beach. So called because of the castle, presumably. Just going to do a slow pan here for those motion sick people. Can hopefully not freak out during this bit. Seeing a strange sea today. Kind of rough, but also, I don't know, spent, sleepy. There's power there. I can hear the roaring, but clearly it was worse last night. This is it just chilling out, I guess, calming down a bit. Grey sky, grey sea, grey sun. Hengistbury behind. Can't even see Swanage now. I mean, the visibility is quite low today at sea by the looks of it, but see where we start with. Collection of houses and pubs on that wharf there, Rutherford Quay. Swinging around. The path doesn't really know what it wants to be at this point. I saw a sign back there proudly proclaiming this to be the Christchurch coast path at this point, which probably puts people in mind of New Zealand more than anything else. But yeah, there's a sort of big compacted sand gravel sort of track and right along the base of the sand there, which most people seem to be taking. Still quite busy out. A lot of dog walkers, a lot of Sunday walkers, which, let's face it, is what I am one of. But the path also goes up there a bit as well, so I don't know. I guess that's Hampshire over there. I'll follow the thing along all day, eventually end out in the mist somewhere out that way. I think Hurst Castle is the closest point to the Isle of Wight. The crossing there is only like a mile or two. You still wouldn't want to swim it. So we should get some good detail of the Isle of Wight when we get up that end. And even better detail of the Isle of Wight around May time, when I'm going to go and try and do its coast path as well. That's the kind of plan at the moment, insofar as I have one at all. I'm just trying to get day tripping done up to Portsmouth, to Southsea, and use that as my connection point for a week trips in May with the backpack and the tent out on the Isle of Wight. And then once that's over, yeah, carry on day tripping as far as is practicable, probably eastbourne, the other side of Brighton, and then it's going to have to be another week in September, I imagine, to do the further coast of Kent. See what's what when we get there. But I'm not trying to plan too far ahead, really. You know, what with one thing and another. It's probably not great to be making long-term plans at the moment. Still, here we go. Try not to be gloomy today. Saw one of those beach huts back there with a sign up front, so you could rent it for £175 a day in the July to August time. Comes down to about 100 in winter. Sorry, I'm going to stop obsessing about beach huts now, or try to anyway. Inquiring minds want to know. Just possibly not your mind, dear viewer. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. Well, that'd be a great place to leave you, but I need to carry on. So I need to be over there, which is the other side of Chewton Bunny. Unlikely name, but real. And it looks like, well, I mean, you can see people down on the beach. it's all just jumbled foreshore really, isn't it? Cliff collapse. I think the path actually goes along the top somewhere through that estate and out the other side. To get there, I think I need to go inland a fair bit. And then find a path up the other side and back across into the path through that caravan site. I think. That's the plan anyway. I can smell powerful aroma of bacon from somewhere over there. One of these camper vans, I think. Be strong. Oh, well, those hikers look like they're coming back up from somewhere that goes somewhere. Don't know. I can't do this without acorns. I don't know. Is that a sign? I've seen a trailer of them leading this way. Some sort of beach ball type of thing. I'm in a holiday park though. I mean, I can hear the sea, so that's helpful. The Department of Rambling Ramblers ought to have, Ministry of Hiking or whatever, ought to have just given me a bunch of metal discs and hammers and nails, and I could have documented the English coast path as I went. Start nailing it onto places. No, I don't think that's a footpath coast mark. I think it might just be their like little brand logo. Still, it does seem like it goes kind of the right way. This is Hampshire. Welcome. You are welcome. Yeah, so that was Dorset anyway, the other side of that woody ravine thing, which means my complete coastal county hike count goes up to 3. So I've done Devon, north and south, Cornwall, Dorset now, and I have every possibility of doing Hampshire as well. I'm not sure where Hampshire ends on the coast, along that way actually. It's the other side of Portsmouth probably. The Isle of Wight's something different again. I mean, they often group together Hampshire and the Isle of Wight, but I think the Isle of Wight is its own county. Anyway, yeah. Surreal landscape. Let's see if I can get out down the end here. Just cut a line towards the sea, start climbing over buildings. Let's try and cut across to that track over there, that road. Seems like it might be useful. Freedom! Escaped. Well, a place like that was always going to have pedestrian access to the sea, surely. Anyway, here we go. This looks like an actual footpath that I'm allowed to be on now, which is good. So this looks like cliff-top marine foreshore housing. Nice pavement most of the way. Well, I'll go along the grass, I expect, along the edge, but yeah, level for quite a way, I think. Take only memories, leave only footprints. I personally couldn't agree more. How do I get out? Gate doesn't open. Okay, I am trapped. Enter code, then press enter. Right. Well, that could be a problem. I have to improvise then, I guess. Do something dangerous next to a cliff edge. What is the code? God damn it. Is this a private beach? I'm trapped. I'll report back once I've resolved this issue. Gonna need a breaching kit. Can't cage me. Yeah, turns out that is private cliff top, private park or whatever. The actual path went to the side down up there, but of course I came in from the wrong end. Stuck with a gate that only opens with a four-digit PIN number, and I thought about permutation cracking and didn't really have that kind of time. So I was contemplating going to the end. The end there, which ends abruptly on a cliff edge that is an actual cliff edge. They haven't left much of a gap. I would have to actually basically hang on to the fence and swing myself around without causing it to collapse. A bit drastic. So in the end I tailgated my way through the gate. Some dog walker went through, and it doesn't close very quickly, which is good. So here I am, free to continue. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that it's going to be a problem for the England Coast Path, because although there's like the, I don't know, Marine Foreshore Access Act of 2009 or whatever, which theoretically allows the right to roam within like 100 metres of the high tide line or whatever, I think that really only covers, in this particular instance, let me show you, stomp my way over, think it probably only really covers the sandy bit down there where they're all walking backwards and forwards. So yeah, actual footpathage, who knows? All sorts of bonkers inland detours because the British coastline in general isn't really set up for it. Well, not yet. That's what the whole England Coast Path project's all about, but it's obviously behind. It's obviously not perfect in every place. So yeah, just a bit of mild non-damaged trespass there. I did indeed take memories and leave only footprints behind. Bad memories mostly. Oh, I don't know, it's a static caravan site of the type. Not my thing. Let's move on. This is better. Nice flat cliff top greenage instead of flats staring out to sea. Yeah, it's good. I was beginning to worry there wouldn't be a path once I hit Hampshire, because you know it is very much the land of get off my land. So I thought that whole caravan park trauma was going to be typical, but I think it might be an exception. So yeah, coming up on, what time is it? 12:07. Oh, hello, what have I done now? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, might be looking for a sandwich about sometime soon. So I could take advantage of the highly densely civilised nature of this area. Shops pretty much everywhere, buses everywhere. Angry dog walkers who get up very early in the morning and disapprove greatly of people putting tents up on their village green, also everywhere. So yeah, swings and roundabouts. I think this is Barton-on-Sea, which it is. Almost dangerously so, in fact. I mean, let's just have a quick peek over the edge. Yeah, that's all gravel, look at that. Yeah, backing away slowly. That looks like fresh fall, that, not much, not a lot of grass on there. Yeah, let's keep away from the edge like the signs say. But yeah, I think it might be like this for quite a long way down towards Hurst, Spit, Keyhaven. Hurst Castle itself's on a big old peninsula, so it's like a mini Chesil Beach sandbar that we're going to have to go backwards and forwards across. There is a ferry that comes back from there, but I don't think I'm going to hit it on time. And it's not a big deal if I don't, it's fine. So yeah, it might have to be there and back along the peninsula a bit, which is going to be a bit exposed. Still, look at that, I've got my coat off and everything. Wearing 2 pairs of trousers and started to regret it a little. It's actually quite warm today, well, relatively speaking. The sun and the mild southern wind. It's not as bitingly numbing as last time. So yeah, starting to shed a layer or two. Right, let's see where this all goes next. Some sort of gaggle of shops and pubs and things, I suspect. Just a bit of random architecture there. Check that out. Probably paint rather than leaf, but bizarre. Alright, yeah, I couldn't be bothered to stop for a sandwich, so I'm just going to keep going. Not really that hungry. So let's push on. It's an impressive view. It's like flat and gradually downhill all the way for the rest of the day, to be honest. Can't quite see where Hurst Castle is and where the Isle of Wight starts and ends. A bit windy to hold still, so I'm sure we'll find out when we get there. Might be a golf course ahead, I think. But I'm okay, I'm quite chilled today. This seems like pertinent information. No right of way, permissive access landowners. No maintained access between top of the cliff and the beach. England Coast Path, that's me, look, I'm doing that. Works underway to a new and permanent right of access on these coast lines in the stretch. For more information, yes, I've been there. There's one A4 PDF which shows you the entire coast of mainland England, and a whole bunch of coloured squiggles along the edge showing how badly out of date how badly behind the opening and provisioning of the path is. So yes, all right. Well, I get it. Look for these, I suppose. Just be nice to golf course owner over there, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. Let's rock. See benches. That's always a good sign. You don't generally put a bench on a path that goes nowhere or collapses. All right, let's do it. Oh. People are petering out a bit now. We're getting away from car parks and ice cream. Mostly golf course just over there. It's all just ended. And yeah, we're just sort of wandering along the cliff top. Quite a dangerous cliff top. You can see it's sort of all just, I say cliff, it's essentially just a massive slumped pile of sand, basically, that is being forever eaten and taken away by the sea. I guess by all that permissive access nonsense on that board there, they just mean that they had to move this barbed wire fence inland into this field, essentially. So obviously it was much further out in the park. Yeah, so yeah, I'm liking this. It's nice. It's just a bit of wilderness, which I didn't think I'd see much of, really, until, frankly, the other side of Portsmouth and beyond. I mean, you know, as we head towards London, it's just going to get denser and busier along the coast, but there are bits like this. It's probably going to be bits like this all the way. I mean, you look at a map and you think, oh yeah, it's just full of cities, Britain, but there's a lot of gaps in between. They just don't show up on maps as often because there's not anything there. I think. Yeah. What's that? Is that pillbox? Oh yeah, here we go. Going to see a lot of that as we proceed towards Dover. Second World War era coastal defences. Because during the Second World War, as I'm sure pretty much everyone watching this knows, but maybe some of the younger viewers don't care about old wars. No, I don't. I don't really know what happened during the Crimea War or any of the campaigns in Africa. Yeah, during the Second World War, we kind of got pushed back onto this island off of Europe. It looked like things were going quite bad for a while, so we dug in preparation of enemies landing on the shores and pushing inward. Turned out not to be necessary in the end, which was just as well. Yeah, speaking of war, blimey, what about that Ukraine thing, eh? Oh god, still going. So I think we're into about 2 weeks of that. It's getting bad. Most of the big cities are encircled now, and the Russians keep bombing refugees as they try and escape. Although, you know, we've only the word of everyone who isn't Russian about that. It might not actually be the case. The Russians say they're not bombing civilians trying to escape through refugee corridors, so, you know, you do the math. Oh look, the Needles Lighthouse. We've got a good profile now at this angle. See that sort of little artificial looking structure on the right hand end? Famous lighthouse. The top is flat and it's a helicopter landing pad. There's absolutely no access to the sea, it's so rough and choppy. They have to land helicopters on it. I think you probably could get a boat on there if you're really desperate, but not safe. Yeah, very choppy on the end of there. And as I say, this might be the best angle to see it from, because I imagine, you know, when we get to do the Isle of Wight in May, we'll end up on top of one of those cliffs somewhere, but you won't really get to see down to the thing itself. No, I'm just enjoying this. This reminds me a bit of South Downs way, really, but I suppose we'll be heading to that kind of landscape and those kinds of scenes the other side of the Isle of Wight week. So over the summer, we'll probably start to see those white cliffs again. The ones I visited in February on the South Downs way, set of little videos I got, I will be basically doing that again. So that's quite pleasing. A little bit of revisit, because I don't really do much revisiting apart from days where I can't get a bus back to the car, you know. Just ruminating on Dorset, Thomas Hardy country, not Stan Laurel and Stan Laurel. I don't know. Oliver Hardy, that's the fella. Anyway, yeah, Hampshire now. Yeah, 3 counties done now. They're quite big counties generally. Yeah. So now Hampshire. It's going to be a lot more rolling. There's not much in the way of big cliffage on the Hampshire shores. It's all small rivers and low-lying coastline like this. So yeah. Work back in with the legs, or I have to deal. Actually, to us, I don't think I'm going to hit anything significantly cliffy until, God. Well, I expect the South Downs, those white cliffs are quite up and downy, but not nearly the way they are in Cornwall. I probably won't hit cliffs like Cornwall again until the Lake District, thinking about it. Because pretty much all of the interesting geology of the UK is on the western face, on the western edge of it. The east side of it's very flat, very low, and generally being eroded into the sea. We'll see a lot of that in Norfolk, I'm sure. But yeah. This is the more of an intermediate kind of landscape. Some altitude, some ups and downs, but nothing as dramatic as we've seen so far. Somewhat less permanent as well. Look at all that. It's not dangerously steep or high, but It's relentlessly going into the sea. Actually, we're not that far off the sea level here, aren't we? Yeah. Right, oh, it's another sign. I think I just might be reiterating the dangerous path, permissive land, etc. Yeah, read all that. Right, onward, up to that small rise there. Keep going. I think I will get a sandwich at the next place I find. I'm starting to get a bit hungry now. Oh, look at you. Look at you with your implacable nonchalance. Yeah, I see you, baby. Yeah, can't get to the number. Doesn't matter. I think I prefer them being enigmas. Cheapens them to catalogue them, I think. Ah, bit of pavement here now. And seaside flats, I'm not quite sure where we are. New Milton, possibly? Milford Haven? New Milford? Don't know. There'll be a sign. I'm really very relaxed at the moment. There's some good walking, nice weather. Cool but not cold, not hot. A little bit hungry, but looks like there might be opportunities to deal with that as well up ahead. So yeah, just plodding along really. It's, I won't say unremarkable, because that does seem to denigrate it a bit, but it's a between place. And there's lots of those, and they're great too. Remembering Norman John Dowell, 1915 to 2002. Yeah, Benches of the Dead still very much in evidence. I think that's a whole Britain thing, that's not a South West Coast Path thing. Yeah, what's that? Sign, hut and things. Yeah. So I looked it up in the end, that is Milford-on-Sea. There we go. Things work more smoothly when I look up facts beforehand. Yeah. So there we go. This is all getting a bit stony and a bit sharp. I'm heading off onto the peninsula. You can sort of see Hurst Castle a bit from here, and I think that's a lighthouse on the same bit of peninsula as Hurst Castle. That's today's destination anyway. There and back again. Should be good. The Isle of Wight really dominating the landscape now. You can see all sorts of buildings on the far side now. Is that Yarmouth? There's Yarmouth around the other side. I think it might be Yarmouth. Not Great Yarmouth, that's somewhere different entirely. Yeah, I could do with a sit, and I'm making really good time actually. I think I just went into the zone a bit on this fantastic downward footpath that just went on for ages. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. Time flies when you're trying to walk 2,000 miles. Yeah. Right, let's see if we can find some food. I'm actually hungry now, yep. Yeah, so how we do? About 1:30, and this is Milford-on-Sea. And pretty much just up ahead, this bit ends, and the sandbar actually starts, which I'm going to have to basically do there and back again, because I don't think I'll be able to get a ferry back from the fort to the car park. There is a ferry, it runs on the other side in the lagoon. But I'm not too fussed about catching it, I don't mind walking back, it's fine. Car is just a bit inland that way a bit, so I basically have to come there and back again along this sandbar spit, and then I'm pretty much out of the car and can go home. That's a lovely day. Chilly but not cold, you know, especially if you're doing walking. Got bob lats on, I don't need mine. And yes, it'll get a bit exposed out on that sandbar, and I suspect it's probably going to be actual just gravel all the way. Hopefully there's a bit of a compressed path of sorts, but certainly not going to be a pavement. Yeah, I'll get something to eat and try and find some lunch before I strike out off onto that bit, but that basically is it, there and back again to that castle thing at the end, and then done. You know, back to not even here really, finished for the day. Surprisingly quick. I'm not quite sure why the 9 miles of Bournemouth took much longer. Oh well. Let's crack on, find some food. Yeah, I know. It's not an ironic ice cream, I really like rum and raisin. Plus I didn't want to hang around for anything hot. So yeah, I'll just sit, finish this and then move on. Discover Hurst Castle. Yes, we're about to. Right, up and away. Glad I made such good time, to be honest, because this promises to be some quite hard going. Relatively compacted, but it is gravel, it's not a path. Basically a big old sandbar with artificial rock emplacement to hold it in place. That granite, not native, brought in from Dartmoor or somewhere. And this is a big old inland bird sanctuary lagoon type thing. I think, yes, if I don't miss my guess, those boat masts are next to the car park where I parked, so that's where I need to come back to, but first, got to get out to the end. A not insignificant distance over some quite treacherous ground. There are loads of other people trotting backwards and forwards across the I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, not really that worried about trying to catch a ferry back. There is a ferry that runs from Castle or the Lighthouse back to over there somewhere. I shan't bother. Got loads of daylight left and quite a lot of energy as well. Legs are fine, feet are okay. Only been doing 10 milers lately, but I do need to bring it back up again before the Isle of Wight week, because that's going to be nearer 15 a day, I think, probably more. I'll try and get it done in 4, so yeah, got to crack on. This is cool, like a little mini Chesil Beach. I mean, the stones aren't as big as grapefruit and they don't make an ear-shattering crack every time you put your foot down. And it isn't 20 miles long. Apart from all that, so I reckon along that road and then left a bit probably is where I need to be going to get to the car eventually. So yeah, I'll deal with that when I come back. Actually, I might do that because that technically is still part of the path. It's not me just giving up filming because I'm on my way home now. Because the path does carry on over that way and becomes the Solent Way, which goes on for about 100 miles till Chichester or something. So that's something I could follow. Anyway, gotta keep moving. Don't want to get caught out here in the dark, or actually it'd be quite cool in the dark. You'd have all the twinkly lights of the Isle of Wight. But the night fishing's probably cool. A load of twinkly lights all down that way. Yeah, I'd like to see some of these places in the dark. That's what you don't get day tripping. I'm trying to get home before dark usually, or at least stop hiking before dark. But you know, camped out somewhere on a dune or whatever, you get to see all this. Yeah. Long way. Well, I'm used to long ways. Long ways is my stock in trade. Hell, if I didn't like long ways, I'd have just walked from Minehead to Poole, you know, saved myself about 450 miles or so. Onward. Not always the way, I can't decide if I want my coat on or off now. So, coming up close, it's a big old thing. Exhibiting many types of architecture from different wars and stuff. I think some of it's Napoleonic. A few Second World War bits and pieces on there as well. Oh, some more interested in the lighthouse. It's always fascinating to me. Yeah, nearly there. I don't know how much of a look around we'll have, but could just turn around and immediately start back once I reach that castle. That seems a bit churlish. Might go around to the lighthouse. Yeah, I think I'll go back along the lower section there. Just get a bit of wind shadow. Quite breezy. Relentless. Yeah. Oh, the Isle of Wight is close. I think once we get to the castle, I'll be nearer the Isle of Wight than my car. It's really quite narrow here. Not sure much container shipping comes through this side. I think mostly they go around the Portsmouth end. I think it's deeper or wider or something, nearer to Southampton docks. It's about more narrow, shallower channel, I think. I don't know. Oh, some information. I do like information. I like to own information, but not necessarily use it. Emergency work at Hurst Castle. Oh God. Hurst Castle has fallen. Yeah, okay. Don't go near the damaged bit. Alright. Yeah. Quite old. Must take quite a lot of maintenance. Quite big as well. Yeah, end of the road. I'm assuming these bits didn't come off recently. Must have come off of some part then. Big old chunks of brickwork. Probably not ideal. Somewhat vaulted there. It's obviously like a, I don't know, some sort of sub-basement or chamber or something. Oh, I can't even see where we started today. It's a bit hazy though, so I just wouldn't really expect to. Might be Hengistbury right over there. Got a new vista to see there, over the other side. There's the Isle of Wight though. Look at that, you can see individual houses and things. I can't actually see this at all, the screen's reflecting too much. I'll have to watch this again later. Looks much like over here, to be honest. Let's see what the path's like. Oh, that is. I'll have to ask. Yeah. Looking forward to that little trip. Looking forward to camping again, actually, even though it does make me a bit nervous each evening. It's quite fun to do. Right, then wander around to the lighthouse bit. Don't know if the ferry's not running or between ferries or whatever. That's okay, I'm good for a walk back, that's fine. Imposing. We're about 30 feet high, that. And more. And who they're trying to keep out. It's just seagulls mostly. Plus, if you've managed to make it around this side, you're well done, because you've been totally raked by cannon fire. The whole other side of it is basically embrasures, little ports for cannons, commanding the entrance to the Solent. Well, one of them anyway. We'll see more about sink ports when we get to Portsmouth. Waiting for a ferry up. Not me. Lots of yellow triangles there. Sheer drops, trip hazard, deep water, steep stairs. Not even open. 1st of April. So either what, 13th of March at the moment. It's quite fascinating. I have been in there once before. Lots of gun ports. I mean, you see like train tracks there for the little ammunition carts and what have you. Quite a formidable outpost. You can see there, here's the aerial view of it. We are about here somewhere. Just guns all the way along. You're in serious trouble if that thing opens fire on you in your rickety wooden galleon. I think war's moved on a bit since then though, so it's just a tourist attraction now. Yeah, let's go and look at the lighthouse. It's a very, you can smell that wood. Very new wood there. Not sure what that's about. Ticket booth, gift shop or something for next season. Got a tea room audience, apparently. Go for a cuppa about now. Yeah, more renovation work. Look at that though. Magnificent. Gleaming, clean lines. Jaunty green at the bottom there. I don't know if it still operates or not. I mean, there's just not really much call for them anymore. Everything out there's got GPS now, which works in fog or whatever, you know. Just as a landmark to know you're roughly on the right bit of coast. It actually shines a light anymore. That goes off a big long way that way, but then essentially curves back around and comes back, so there's not much point going any further along there. No way back to the car and onward from along there. Back the way we came basically is how we get off of here. But there's a bit of a new view. So this is all Lymington next, I think. Yeah, all that big forest of masts over there, I presume. I think that's coming up on Lymington. At which point I then need to go upriver, possibly. I can bang on more about this next time, obviously, but I mean, there's essentially the Bewley River cuts the New Forest in half, and the first place you can cross that is actually at Bewley, which is about 10 miles upriver from where it goes out to the sea. So a continuous coast path is going to have to go inland to Bewley and then either back down and along the coast to Leap and Calshot and then back up past Fawley Refinery and everything, which is one way. But the Solent Way, which I'm sort of following, decides that Bewley's sod this and cuts straight to Hythe, way up past Fawley, and then gets a ferry across the middle of Southampton, so it cuts an enormous chunk off. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. Depends if I see any E9 stars or English coast path signs that direct me back towards Calshot and Leap. If not, then I suppose I ought to just follow the Solent Way. But I mean, that's going to cut off, I don't know, it'll take, it's like an extra day almost to do the additional distance that it cuts off. So there's at least another sort of 15-mile stretch of coast that I could do but wouldn't have done. Do you see what I mean? Makes me uneasy. It's a shame to not be able to claim I walked the whole coast of Britain, but just because I didn't do a stretch near Calshot. But then, I don't know, I'm setting the rules, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, I haven't thought what I was going to do there really. I have to scope it out a bit probably at the end of the next hike. Once I get to Bewley, I need to look around for signs and see what the general consensus of footpathery is. Of course nobody lives here anymore. People might live in those two. Manned lighthouses. Corporation of Trinity House, private property, do not touch. Yeah. I'm not touching. That's quite cool. The crest of the Admiralty or something, is it? Trinitas in Unitat. Yeah. Here we are. Back on the sandbar, ready to return. 2:30 about. That's the car. Oh, hello. That's the car by 3ish, I suppose. About half an hour, maybe an hour's worth. Yeah, it's across in the woods a bit, so I'm going to take this lower route. I think it's on the wind off. See some of the marshes. Habitat for birds and things. Seagulls mostly. Every time I get chips, they'll come here to eat what they normally eat. A bit of a free-for-all mooring for various small pleasure craft. Okay, so you concentrate on this gravel a bit now. Yep, still going. Quite a lot of gravel here. Not my favourite. Or sand. In fact, I think, you know, tarmac pavement's my favourite, closely followed by a nice hard packed mud path between two big hawthorn hedges on the cliff top. Yeah, this is making me regret wearing two pairs of trousers. Seemed like a good idea this morning, but yeah, probably one trouser too many. So it's good to be back in the zone again, plodding on, getting the miles done. Blimey, saw this week on the news there's a chap from Cambridgeshire who apparently had just finished doing 11,000 miles around the coast of Great Britain, walking, you know, feet and stuff like this. I mean, 11,000 miles. I had to stop and work that out actually at that point, because I've done a bit of research for this current endeavour. South West Coast Path, 640 miles, 30 miles, whatever. Yep, done. Tick. This bit I'm going to do. This is around the coast of the English Coast Path. That's apparently around 2,000 miles. Right, and that doesn't include Wales. The Welsh Coast Path is 870 miles. I looked that up. So that's called out around 1,000. South West Coast Path is counted in the English Coast Path. So we're only up to about 3,000, which suggests the remaining 8,000 must be Scotland. And I can believe that. Unless he's gone round a few times, why would you? There'd be other countries to tackle after that, surely. So Scotland must consist of 8,000 miles of trackless moorland heather with like lochs and fjords, bits that go in and out. I guess you must include the islands, Orkneys, Hebrides, Shetland. That must rack up a few thousand as well. Fair play to him, well done, very impressed. He must have done that in one go. Yeah, a proper wild man living out on the trail. Did it for charity, apparently. Again, making me look bad. And yeah, just impressive. I don't know. Be umming and ahhing about Scotland. Might not bother. Yeah, there's always somebody better at anything than you can think of than yourself. That's the motto. But not to care is also the motto. Alright, I need to work out where I need to go to get to the car, because I can't work out if it's over there or over there. This might all look the same to you, quite different from here. Okay, so I've had a quick look. I think it is that row of vans is my turning, and that over there is Keyhaven. That's where the car is. So I need to take an early right at once to get past the watery bits, which is good. Yeah, just reflecting a bit more on that 11,000 mile overachiever. Just thinking that he's going to be changed by that. He's not going to be able to come home again after that, especially if he did that in one go. You know, one great big 3-year stint or whatever it took. He's going to not be able to settle again after that. I get like that sometimes after just the bits I do. Find myself restless, unable to settle into a normal life again. Yeah. So I look at the waves for a bit. You can too. Impressive waves. Size to them. Good froth. Ah.
Have you ever skied with them? Yeah. Have you? When? When did you used to go skiing?
Well, that's encouraging. So off down off the break now, so a bit more quiet. Lots of people parked up here. Exploring the marshland with spades. But yeah, that back there, that sign, I think, marks the beginning of the Solent Way, which is a single continuous marked footpath I can take until at least, well, certainly the other side of the Isle of Wight week. Probably a couple of days beyond that. So the question I suppose becomes, should I follow it? Is it enough of a coast path to count? Or do I need to look out for England coast path signs or E9 European signs? Probably a bit of both. Establish some sort of priority order. Anyway, this will get me back to the car park, which is just at the end of this road and around the corner a bit. It should be good. A very good time today. I can't understand why this one felt faster than the last one. Less of a wind, I suppose, less bit of conditions, but I don't think I stopped more last time. It was shorter, technically. Yeah. Oh well, here's what it is. Right, let's keep moving. Hello. Yeah. I don't know what that bird is on the Solent Way sign, I'll have to check. Yeah, it turned out nice again. I was expecting to get rained on. So it's nice when that doesn't happen. What do we reckon? Is it a turn? A goal? I don't know. Fairly distinctive though. Should keep an eye out. And look, this. Now entering the New Forest National Park. I've been on Exmoor and I don't know, maybe bits of Dartmoor. No, not Dartmoor. I don't think Dartmoor went that far to the coast. Lots of national parks though. But yes, New Forest. Look, trees. We call it the New Forest. It's like one of those humorous Britishisms where we name it exactly the opposite of what it actually is. It's an ancient woodland, and most of it's moors now due to excessive over farming and stuff, hacking it down for pasture. So apart from that, spot on. Right, I see. Causeway around the end and up to the masts there, where I believe my car is. Good. That's nice. Not really a twitcher, to be honest. Like birds, fair enough, you know. They do their thing. Well, you're quite noisy, don't you? You're a condor, probably. I don't know, some sort of wader. I'm going to go with tern because that's a word I've heard. Good place for it though, if you're into that sort of thing, there. Lots of accessibility. And there we are, Keyhaven. Cars just the other side of those buildings. Hopefully. It comes to that time in the hike when I start to consider whether my car's been set on fire or just vanished. But yeah, I expect it's fine. It has been all the other times so far. Yeah. Keyhaven Wharf, our little dinghies and yachts and things. Not sure much fishing goes on from here, but fishing trips, big sign over there said. I'm not sure I'm that keen on that really. It's alright, I know how fish work. Right, well I might leave you here then actually. The car's just over there. So yeah, thanks for sticking with me as usual. I'm surprised you're still here for this additional bonus round. Joining me next time when we'll be exploring the New Forest. So expect massive spiders. Ta-ta.